Hello everyone and welcome to another YouTube video. Today I have a special one for you guys as we will be looking at the chamber nerfs, what the changes are, and how that will impact the way he plays the game. I've already had to look over these. I have to say they are very unique. Not really anything I've heard from the community. A lot of people just really wanted the operator moved out of the game completely. But I think Riot's approach at this is not only ingenious, but it also helps improve his identity without actually changing his gameplay that significantly. I think the biggest change is actually to do with this teleporter. So, without further ado, in this article, they cover exactly what the chamber changes are going to be. So, here are the abilities, the stuff you guys are interested in. Headhunter being his Q or Chamber's Sheriff. Updated stability curve. What that means is that now, as most people know, you can pretty much spam up to about 5 shots with Chamber's Sheriff before it becomes highly inaccurate and unreliable, especially at close distances. This is a pretty decent change. Nothing that's going to make the ability unusable. If you use it properly and the way it's meant to be used, it'll still be as powerful as it is right now. Personally, I would have decreased the bullets from 8 to 6 and made them a bit more expensive so that I can only buy 2 on pistol rounds and make it less impactful on those very important eco rounds. But moving on, spread increased after second bullet when spamming. Yep, that just means that it'd be much more difficult for a chamber to double shot you in the body at the beginning. Here's the biggest change. Chamber's TP. Chamber now places a single anchor that can be teleported while inside this range. I will display what this means inside the game to show you just a visual idea, but what that means is instead of Chamber placing his first initial TP from where he wants to teleport from, and then pressing a second one, putting down a second one to where he wants to teleport to, he now has a singular TP that he needs to hide, and he has a range of 26 meters, which again I will display in game how long that is, and he will teleport back to the center of the anchor instead of teleporting to the center of the second anchor. Remove teleportation activation height restriction. This one's pretty cool. It means Chamber can't get up to high places anymore, but now he can actually teleport from a bit more ingenious verticality. So I'll show it in game as well about what that will actually look like. Increased weapon equipment time, this is really good. Chamber isn't known for teleporting aggressively, but the reason they did this, and to clarify, this might seem like a weird change to do, is now Chamber will actually be pushed by people because he will only be able to teleport to the left, to the right, or a bit further back instead of teleporting halfway across the map. So this change means that now if you actually push Chamber, he will actually die unless he plays very proactively with this teleport. Destroying Rendezvous now disables it for the entire round. This is amazing. This means that if you're smart and the chamber doesn't pick up his teleport, he cannot teleport for the rest of the round. It is off. It is completely broken. Chamber no longer incurs an additional cooldown when recalling his anchor. What that means is now if you teleport and then pick up your teleport, your cooldown goes up and it resets, I believe, unless it's very close to finishing. Basically, this means that once he's teleported, you'll pick it up and the cooldown will be unchanged. Either that, or it means he can teleport, pick it up, and instantly teleport again, but I don't think that's how that's going to work, because that would be very broken. So, trademark, Chamber C, one of the most annoying counter flank tools in the game, is the phrase I was looking for. It's now range restricted, so think Killjoy. He will play exactly like Killjoy does with her utility. And yeah, once he moves out of a specific range, trademark will be disabled, and once he moves back into it, will be re-enabled. Let's see. Can now be recalled mid-round. This is pretty good. This means that the chamber can now replace. So if you push into sight and you want to use your trap somewhere closer or somewhere near the spike, that would be really good. You can now call it back during the round, and it works just like recalling your teleport. 30-second cooldown. This is massive. This is like such a long cooldown. This means that if you accidentally pick up your trademark once the round has started, you will not get to use it again that round, most likely. But this also allows him to play a bit more proactively with his abilities, because now you can put your trademark down as you're defusing and you'll know if anyone's pushing you from behind. Initial arm time increased from 2 to 4 seconds, so now it will take 4 seconds to activate. Very straightforward. Health increase from 1 to 20, pretty negligible. The only weapons that will not be able to kill it in one shot, I believe, are the classic and the frenzy, and the shotguns if you only hit one pellet, but you should be able to still kill it in exactly one shot. Tour de Force, everyone's most hated ability in the game. Fire rate decreased by over 50%. This is huge. He will fire. This will feel very chunky. When you pick up Chamber next patch, oh boy, this is gonna hurt like hell. You're gonna feel so sluggish. It's still gonna be faster than the Operator, 100%, but it will be infinitely slower than the Marshal now. So, the slow, this is a passive that applies, like it says, to trademark and getting kills with the ultimate. It creates that annoying slow field on the ground. 50 to 40%, meh, literally. Nice, we can move 10% faster in it now, but it's still just a very meh nerf. This is the big one. It's now lasts 2 less seconds. This means that if you're a team who accidentally dies to the chamber, you have a lot less time to wait before you can move quickly. Also, if you're the chamber who gets a kill, you now have to wait less until you can push into your kill. Reduce size by 30%, this is a massive nerf. Basically, what this means is now if you get a kill with the chamber ultimate, there will still be slithers of space that people can walk past to get onto site quicker. That's all the changes that we have. I will now take some time to show you what these changes look like in game. So here we are on Ascent playing Chamber. I'm now going to show you looking at his trademark, then his Q, then his E, and then his ultimate. Kind of like a brand new Chamber tutorial, just slightly different. So, when you put this down, in 2 seconds, it starts spinning. That's going to double in time. So you saw that, that's going to take twice as long. And now you can see I cannot pick it up no matter what I do. But in the future, I will be able to pick this up even if I'm playing like this and it's behind the wall or a structure. I'll be able to pick it up and it will go on a 30-second cooldown right in the top left corner. Chamber's Q is a sheriff is going to be way less spammable now. So they were talking about close to mid ranges, so about here you can see that's the spread right now. It's going to look a bit more like that, maybe less extreme. This is what the Chamber's new spread is going to look like after the nerf, whereas now it's more around there. So this will only really affect his close range fights. And the same with the aim down sights, it's going to be more like that, instead of actually just being like that. Also, this also means that when you spray, it's more likely that your aim will probably work like that, instead of only going up incrementally. So spraying with the sheriff is now going to be way less reliable. You do have to take the time to aim your shots. Chamber's TP is now going to look like this. There's no second TP, you will just have a single anchor. And if I ping, that's 11, that's 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6. This is how far away you will be able to TP from. So that yellow outline will reach all the way up to here, on this side on here, and that the same side on the other side. So it has quite a bit more range to TP from. And if I press my TP button, ignore the second anchor, from here, this is how I'll be able to TP all the way back to this exact position. So ignore that anchor, it will be one singular anchor, and that's about the distance that I'll be able to TP from, just about here. So that's a pretty good indicator. It's about the length of B back to B site, about that distance. That's about as far as you can travel. Maybe a bit further, actually. We're probably talking about more like the center of the site all the way to boathouse. It's how far Chamber can TP to now. This also means that you'll have to be a bit more provocative in the way you teleport, because obviously if you want to play... This is the angle I like to play on Chamber in Ascent, where I pop a TP here, and then the second one I'll put like here. And then... Oops, sorry. I'll pop a TP there and one further back, and then I'll peek and teleport. Now you've got to keep in mind that you actually have to place the initial teleport here and then peek, like so. But it goes 26 meters omnidirectional, so it'll be a very massive radius. And also to keep in mind that if your TP does get destroyed, you don't get to keep it anymore. So once it's taken out, there is no more TPing. It does not go on a cooldown, and there's no way to get it back, whether you wait 40 plus seconds or get a kill. His ultimate is a bit harder to display, but what it will look like is, in between firing shots, you'll see that I can go very quickly, almost rivaling the Marshal. The way that's going to look like, if I was to take a guess, would probably be more like... You can still see it's quite a bit faster than the op still. but nowhere near as fast as what it's like right now. This weapon fires unbelievably fast right now. So, to simulate it again, this is how the operator fires in the current patch. And this is what it will look like after the nerfs come through. So significantly slower. That's going to be a massive nerf. Once again, to keep a note, it will still be faster than the operator and it'll still deal more damage than the operator because it has to be better, otherwise there's no point using his ultimate ever. Unless you have a round where you can't afford an operator and you really want to use one. So that does it for the chamber changes. There's not really an easy way for me to show what the slow is going to change. But I guess to explain it, I will go into the range quickly. And I'll show you guys that. So we're now in the range, and to display what the slow change is going to look like, I'm going to use this dummy right here. The dummy dies, and you can see it covers quite a bit of space. 30% less would move the edge from where it was then to about here. So the radius will follow where my body is. So we'll no longer cover as much of an area, as well as disappearing after 4 seconds instead of 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Actually, we'll just use the timer there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see what the timer was like. And now, if I could actually land my shot. Oh my goodness. There you go. 2, 3, 4, and then the trap will disappear right then. So those are all the chamber changes. Really good, really intuitive changes. The character will still be relatively strong, but instead of being about an S tier, he'll probably land more in the B to A tier category. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe.